Hello, my name is Zachary Williamson, and welcome back to Beat the Rake DFS. We have a two-game UCL slate for you guys today. Tomorrow, but I'm going to be breaking it down. But first, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're not a member of our Patreon already, go check it out. We have NBA full access. NBA is coming back in with this. You get access to everything in our NBA content, NBA projections, NBA ownership projections, cheat sheets, cores, all that great stuff. We also have MMA, EPL, and UCL projections for $12 a month joint together, or you can get everything all in for $21.50. These are Canadian prices. I'm a Canadian, but so your money is worth more. But anyway, make sure you guys go check that out. And even if you're not ready to go and join our Patreon, join our general Discord. We have a couple free channels. I think NHL right now is free. Esports, we got some coverage there. People are talking NASCAR. People are talking all things sports. It's a great community. So at least get yourself in the free Discord, because I think that it'll help you grow just being around other people, and it's a great community already. But anyway, let's get to, we've got two games, and I'm not gonna lie, the salary is really tough. We do have expected lineups. This could differ very much. So I don't think we see Callum Hudson-Odoi. He has been out with hurt, so that might open up Christian Pulisic starting because there is no Mason Mount. I have seen some lineups have like Ross Barkley in. I have seen some lineups like say that Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to play, but he didn't train and he's a doubt. So I think it's going to be Pulisic again, even though he didn't do much. It could be Timo Werner as well. I've seen Werner in there. Werner is too expensive, so I really hope it's not Werner. But yeah, so pricing is really tight on this slate. And so I'm going to be completely honest. If we see Marcus Alonso, I'm probably not going to be able to get there. I don't know if we see this. So like, this is the lineup we saw over the weekend, except for we had Malang Sarr playing left back, and then Alonso came on for him. Chelsea's had trouble scoring goals. And so we'll see what happens with this lineup. It is Chelsea at home. But there's a couple of things that I'm going to personally be doing differently that I feel like the field isn't going to be doing. And so we'll talk about that. But I think Hakeem Ziyech is probably the most like lock and load player on the slate. He's going to have most of sets, even with Alonso in. No Mason Mount. Unlikely, I believe. I don't think like he might make the squad, but he was expected to miss for a lot longer. And then obviously no Reece James, no Ben Chilwell. If we don't see Azpilicueta, I know he trained, but it could be interesting. Chelsea's just dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Maybe we see Chalobah out wide. If not, maybe you see Rudiger push up. It'll be interesting. And it's obviously going to come down to the lineups, but I think you start your lineup with Hakeem Ziyech. I feel like a lot of people are going to play Lukaku. He's got the highest goal scoring odds. Personally, I don't think I do, because he doesn't really have a floor. And on a slate like this, where I don't expect there to be a lot of scoring, we're going to have to save some money somewhere. And he he has the 4 shots there, but he's not touching the ball. His touches for Chelsea are incredibly low. So on the 2-3 touches he might get in a game, you're hoping for him to score. And I know he has the highest goal scoring odds, but it's just, I don't see it. I'd much rather play Kai Havertz at 8,100, right? He's got more of a 4. He's on the ball more. Even Pulisic at 7,600, if we see him. I might even make a case for Timo Werner at 10,000 over Lukaku, just in the sheer fact that I feel like a lot of people are going to be playing Lukaku at 9-1. I probably not in cash, and I'll probably not full fade in GPP because it's only a 2-game slate, but I would be close to full fading Lukaku, I think, in GPP. That might hurt. Jorginho, if we see him, he's expensive, but he will have PKs. Again, this is the lineup we saw. They're expecting not any rotation. It's very possible that we come in and we see maybe Kovacic, which I like Kovacic at 5'7". He's okay on the slate. I don't think it is possible that we see Chalaba stop up in the midfield. We've seen that. But a lot of people are going to target Chelsea. A lot of people are going to come to Edouard Mendy, and I only think you do that if it is a construction that you can get. We got 3 cheap goalies on this slate. The Leo goalie, which we'll get to, and then both the other goalies are not that expensive in comparison to like how much more expensive Edouard Mendy is at 5'8". But yeah, so I think that a lot of people are going to come in. They're going to play Ziyech, Lukaku, Mendy, and maybe another Chelsea piece. And I just feel like that is too, like, you're expecting too much, in my opinion, because Lille's not a bad side. Chelsea's not been great lately. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. They're definitely not as potent as they were at the start of the year, or even when they won the UCL last year. And so I feel like for the name value, a lot of people are just going to like hard stack Chelsea. I don't know if I do that. We'll go on to the Lille side. In this lineup, it'll probably be Bamba who takes sets. He's had sets the last little bit. If we do see Renato Sanchez, they'll split. But yeah, in this lineup, this is where I kind of want to get different. So a lot of people are not going to play Leo Jardim, or it might actually also be Gribic. I think personally at 3,700, I don't expect Chelsea to come out and score like 5 or 6 goals. I expect them to score maybe 1 or 2, if that. Like I said, Chelsea's had troubles scoring goals. I don't know why it's not allowing me to add him to the lineup. Just add him. There you go. Leo Jardim. So I'm going to be building this as we go, but I think I'm going to go there. Jonathan Bamba is cheap as well. Crystal Palace, for example, Elise had, I think it was like 7 or 8 crosses, and they were all from set pieces on the weekend. But yeah, so I do. The one thing I like a little clouded is they played a game on Friday, and Sanchez subbed in after being out. So if he's back for whatever reason, he'll probably have a share of sets. But if not, you can go there and play Bomb, no problem. Now I think, sweet. I hate when that happens. I think the thing that a lot of people are going to do is they're gonna try to figure out a way to get cheap at center, at forward. Maybe you come in and play David. I don't know if we get there. That's like something I feel like you could do. I've heard some people talking about it. So, and it's really going to come down to like lineups and stuff like that. I think some people will try to jam 2 Chelsea forwards in. So maybe you get Havertz and Lukaku. But I just hear me out. Okay. So if we full on Chelsea stack, like the way people want to like play this slate, or the way people are talking about playing this slate, I just don't see it. Because look, where are you saving money? Like, how are you making that work? It doesn't make sense to me. So, sorry, we'll see something. I'll talk about Cuadrado, but I do think Ziyech is important. I think you can play, like, maybe it's not optimal, but I think if Jonathan Bamba's in, play Bamba, and then you just hope for a bunch of saves. And I think that's like a good place, because then you have 6,200, right? So from this game. So that's probably what I'll do. I don't know if I'll target anybody else here. I'll probably be okay. Maybe I'll get some Jonathan David. Just got to get the Canadian love. He's been great for Team Canada. So, and he's been really good for Lille. Expecting him to transfer out, honestly, into the Premier League. There's a lot of talk around him and Arsenal, unfortunately, but we'll see. The other game is Villarreal against Juventus, and I do expect Gerard Moreno to miss. He is questionable, I believe, or no, he's out. So I do expect him to miss. Lo Celso. So this lineup is different than what they've been putting out, I believe. We've been seeing sweet. Sorry, my Google skills are apparently not great, but we've been seeing, so like on the weekend against Granada, they went crazy, but they had Lo Celso and Pino, and they were playing like a 4-4-2 and not a 4-3-3. So maybe you see this lineup. Maybe you see a 4-4-2 with like Lo Celso up top and like a pseudo role. Danjuma is really expensive. That's Danjuma. But he took a couple sets over Parejo, but I don't expect it. But yeah, I think again it's going to come down to like lineup selection because Pino is a midfield forward, and if you see him at 4'8", he's so fast that like I think I take some shots just because he's cheap. So I hope to see Pino on the wing. Personally, just because he's had that forward option and he's really cheap. So that's my hope. But if we're building like we see that, maybe you come in and you play like a Juan Foyth. Foyth is always good getting forward, former Tottenham guy. I believe he's usually cheap too, 3,500. Or Pedraza gets forward as well. If you see Serge Aurier, another former Tottenham guy, man, there's just former Tottenham, former Tottenham. And then they also have Lo Celso, who's former Tottenham as well. So just former Tottenham players for Villarreal. That's funny. But I think that maybe it gets Aurier or Foyth or depends on who's starting, obviously. So where is Pedraza? Because I think I like Pedraza the most. He's more expensive. So maybe I like Foyth more because just for pricing. Again, we're gonna have to try to save. This game's gonna be interesting. I expect it to be low scoring. It's probably gonna be 0-0, 1-0 kind of thing. Parejo is mid sevens, and he should have most of the sets for Villarreal. So if you're just targeting like a floor, doesn't have much of a ceiling though. But maybe you want to play Parejo at 7-1. I'd be okay with it. This is more of like a floor slate, and then you're hoping for a little bit of upside. So I totally understand that if you want to do it. If you do see Chuck Weezy, I don't know how expensive Chuck Weezy is, but 58, he's a midfield only, of course. This is the issue, is like there's a lot of like midfielders who are like midfield only, like Lo Celso. He has been playing forward as you saw. So that's one, and then obviously Chuck Weezy is another where maybe they should probably have some forward eligibility, but forward's tough. So in this lineup for Juventus, your lock is going to be Juan Cuadrado. There's no Dybala, so that means Cuadrado will take everything. So yeah, I think that you have to play Juan Cuadrado. He's been playing not as like a wing back anymore. He's playing more of just like a winger, just as he's getting up in age too, so he'll be more forward, which is nice. Okay, so I'll play Juan Cuadrado. See, and then this is like where this is like if you fill your lineup out like this, like we're punted goalie, we punted here. Like, are you gonna play Vlahovic and then you hope for like Jeremy Pino, maybe? Or okay, maybe there's some ways. It's a difficult roster construction, but that's okay. They made it not fun. In this lineup, I think you can maybe get to Dennis Zakaria too. He's from the Bundesliga, even playing with Gladbach before. Locatelli is okay as well. I think he's really cheap. I probably don't get to the wingbacks here. Maybe I play Szczesny. So like this is what I was talking about. Like this is why I don't think you play Mendy, is because like you can take shots at Szczesny at 47 or Rulli at 47, right? You're saving 1,000 on a slate where it's tight salary. But I feel like a lot of people are going to try to force Mendy for the clean sheet win. And then if you like kind of leverage, like maybe he concedes or maybe like he doesn't like get a bunch of saves. He doesn't have saves. He only gets 10 points, but maybe you get like, or you can guess who wins here, or even if it's a tie. Say it's like a tie 0-0, and each goalie has like 5 saves or 6 saves, or maybe like each goalie has like 2 or 3 saves. More realistic, 4 points, 6 points. Then they both get the clean sheet. It's 11 points. You're paying save $1,000. Pretty much the same thing you're hoping for Mendy. So you take shots at the keepers on this game, or like I said, I think I'm going to be punting just like 3-6 for a goalie. So like Jadim. But made no saves against Man. It was a thing. Even if you see Gribich, like I don't know if we will, but he's been used as like he's like kind of lost the goalie role, but both goalies. Chelsea shoots the ball a lot. They're most definitely not the most clinical at this point with the injuries they have. So I think there's a lot of lot that you can do and save by like maybe going here or even going down all the way to here, right? Maybe going here or going down to here. So yeah, it's an interesting slate, guys. Like I said, I'll do a quick. I already did it, but I think like my initial build will look something like this, where hopefully we get Pino. I'm gonna play like we get Pino because he started a lot for them in the Champions League. So, but let's go Ziyech. I'm gonna play Quadrado because that's like this is how I'll start most of my lineups. I think all 20 or 25 or 30 lineups. Usually I play like a 20 max and a little bit more. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it's an interesting slate to build, but all 20 of my lineups will probably start there, if at least that. And then we'll go. Like I said, I want Pino. So we'll play Kai Havertz. I think Pino will start, or maybe it'll be. Maybe you'll see. Morata's okay too. He's been okay. Alcacer would be okay too. He might take penalties too if he's in, which should be interesting. But we'll hold for Pino because he's cheap. And so we'll do Pino. And then this will be like interesting where you're gonna come next. I think you could play Bamba, right? And then you punted Jerem. And then maybe you try to play Pareja, like I said you did, and then you have like 5-2. You play Azpilicueta. Thiago Silva is way too expensive. But yeah, we'll see. It's all going to depend on lineups because I think there's a lot of question marks about how the lineups will actually shake out. But that's why you got to get in the Discord so you can ask me your questions. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, and good luck tomorrow. Cheers.